I began activism because I cared, but I keep doing activism because it's effective.
The arguments that people have that, protest isn't going to change anything, I think that's complete rubbish. We're hearing politicians quoting the things that we're doing, and it's pushing for change.
I'd say that actually these kids aren't doing it just because they want to get a day off school. They're doing it because they want a future.
I think that sometimes when the rules of society fail you, you need to break them. So we need to start stepping up and making sure they know what we think.
It's not the 1 million species within the next 5 or 10 years. It will be us as well. It's just choosing the right battle. I think there's a lot of anger behind this movement. The focus should be on the Pacific. Their homes are slowly dying right now. We are not drowning, we are fighting.
I asked my dad, is there a climate strike in Lahat? And my dad said no, and I thought, why shouldn't I just make one here so people don't have to use them on carbon to get there in the first place?
She started organising the first school strike when she was 7. I know a lot of parents don't want their children to worry, and I know that she worries quite a bit because it comes out in her artwork.
I am happy that Yuli's involved in the school strike because it's given her an outlet to participate in a big movement to give voice to her anxiety about the future.
It's just really frustrating to see the inaction from politicians.
At the very start, there weren't that many of us, so we were all kind of appointed like the national committee. We had no clue. I think at one point we actually Googled like how to organise a strike. I've always been interested in science and had lots of faith in the facts. And as I was doing my own research, I kind of discovered that it was a bit more urgent than I guess I'd been told before.
There's been so many warning signs, and to really fully address the issue would need to, restructure our entire economy. A shift of this scale is not going to happen without another uprising.
Who knows how many people are going to show up? I have a feeling it's going to be like March, where we expected like 300, and then we get presented a very almost dumbed down version that everyone can understand, but the further you dig deeper, the worse it gets. Change is coming, whether we like it or not.
I think to myself, how did we get this system that's so unsustainable that it's actually like killing ourselves? We live in this capitalistic system where people just want to make money and money and money, and people with the most money are essentially the winners in life.
Like everything on like my social media is like the big day, and I'm like, oh, way more people than the last two. They're meant to have like over 3,000.
We're just kind of giving too much power to these businesses and corporations, and that's the reason why they've gotten away with it for so long.
Thank you for coming. Look, we have so many like amazing help.
So it's really about taking that power back.
Okay, have fun.
Yeah, it's so weird to think it's today. Yeah, good luck. See ya. I really can't put my finger on a point where I fully understood, except for last year when Greta actually started striking outside of Parliament in Sweden, and then reading the IPCC report and then understanding, her knowledge, why she does it, and being like, shit, I need to do something as well, yeah.
In a few hours, this is gonna be filled with people. Thousands. I'm so nervous. It will be good. It will be good.
School striking is my job, essentially. There is just so much to do. Everyone has their roles, they know what they're doing, and everyone is so committed.
I'll just say, do you commit to ending fossil fuels?
Does the end bit almost give them a cop-out? So it's our responsibility to just ensure that where the movement's going is representative of what our group wants.
We walked around the whole block, and then we stood in front of the council building, and some people gave speeches.
I didn't realise and know anything, really, about climate change. I'm actually quite shaking at the moment because I see what's going on. I didn't know this was around.
Politicians won't really do anything if you don't tell them, actually, this is what you could be doing instead of making more roads.
We need to now be the leaders of this country to do what we can do, and I don't know what it is, but we need to find out what we need to do.
Want to hear is you doing the work. You can talk the talk, but can you walk the walk?
Grandmother, and I've been fighting for this for years and years, and nobody's been listening, and now all these people are doing it, and it's fantastic.
What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now! So, what do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now!
We've talked to the mayor before, people have been talking to people like that. We've been telling them that we should stop climate change.
Will you be a role model for this country?
The mayor said he would do something, but it actually turned out he hasn't done really anything much.
I feel like I'm being robbed. I don't think our Pacific people did any harm, and yet we'll be the first to go. It's not fair. You know, we are in a crisis, and just being able to talk to other people my age, listening to them sharing their emotions and how they actually feel about it, it's something really undescribable, yeah.
Welcome to the strike for climate. People moving all the way this way.
Climate grief. I feel like when we're all as a group, everyone tries to hide it. Everyone tries to make it look like on the outside they're doing fine. But we do have some well-being issues, and that I feel like brushing it under the rug almost makes it worse. I get really, really angry with people who are fine with sitting there and living these extravagant lives where they're just exploiting the earth and its resources. So as much as I'm anxious, I'm angry, yeah.
I don't want to cry, but somebody who's like really involved and who really cares about people, it can be really scary sometimes, knowing that like our whole future could like be completely destroyed because of climate change. And if you don't listen now, we're going to be the ones who are going to pay for it.
I do admit I get pretty stressed out hoping enough people come, because it's an issue we're all so passionate about.
I'm terrified. The school strike movement is probably the most important thing you can be a part of now. You know, it is the generation-defining issue.
So just can everyone shout if they can hear me? What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now! We'll never be divided! The students united! We'll never be divided!
We took the train, and then we went to Wellington, and we joined each other's groups.
One of the best things was like school strike giving us the space and saying, you know, you guys can lead this. And we did.
At that moment, I knew that a lot of people cared about climate change, and they were actually trying to do something about it. And they were skipping school, just like me, to stop climate change so that their children could have a future.
They say the world is in the midst of an emergency and the government needs to do a lot more to help limit
We're all scared for our futures, and we're all showing that together. Showing politicians and people in power that this is going to affect us, and it's going to affect us more than them.
People keep on talking about this 2050 target. By 2050, I'm going to be 49. I'll be in the middle of my life, in the middle of my career, and by then, I hope we're on the right track.
Big numbers so that, you know, the government can finally realise that people everywhere in New Zealand want climate action.
2050, you think of our whole biodiversity just completely dying out, you know, the landmass getting smaller, our population size is getting bigger, people in like more poverty because of climate change and its effects, and that's really, really scary.
It does make me feel sad. I don't want to have to say to my grandfather that we couldn't take him home like he wanted, that he couldn't share with us his beautiful upbringing because it's too late.
You guys on this side, we need everybody to move over because there's still people marching on the street behind you.
Everyone in the middle, if you can slowly walk back, we have still got thousands of people coming through. This is absolutely insane.
We welcome all feelings of anxiety, anger, pain, and love for our common home.
The discourse is like, how? But how? The solutions for so many of society's problems lie with Indigenous ways, Indigenous teachings, Indigenous knowledge.
I joined the fight in honour of my ancestors who did no harm, for my grandparents and the islands that were their foundation and thus mine, for my baby cousins so that they may see the whenua where our ancestors are buried.
We've got to get on the right track. There's no plan B. We have to. I appreciate this is a process that's going to take maybe 50, maybe 100 years. The fact is, if we don't start now, we're never going to make it.
Large corporations, colonial empires, and countries, we see you.
With colonization came the concept of take, stealing from Mother Earth, what is not ours to take in the first place.
Because the government cared more about money than they did about the planet.
I sort of blame the older generations for not doing anything. When they realized it was bad, they didn't really care and they just kept on with their lives and like, oh, I'm not going to be alive by that time that happens. And now our generation now has to say, well, I won't be dead by then, so we have to really fix it.
Although it's really, really empowering that we're having so many young people speak up, it really sucks that we have to be the ones to do it because there was no one else who was really going to.
Will you support passing a more ambitious zero-carbon bill into law?
There's definitely a generation of people who just do not want to listen to us. They don't understand why we are doing what we're doing.
Thanks, James. Can I acknowledge all of you and acknowledge your signs? Can I particularly acknowledge that there is no plan B?
The Wellington climate strike, it was intergenerational, which is what our future is and which is what our solutions should be.
We demand that our leaders end fossil fuel exploration and extraction in Aotearoa. We demand that they invest in a regenerative and renewable economy right now. And we demand that they support those on the front lines of climate change and support those in the Pacific practically.
And if you won't, there's an election next year and we're going to make sure that you do. I think this is history being made.
The people have the power!
It is going to have to be everybody, everywhere, no matter where they are, even the smallest town, to just ease into the systematic change and try and live sustainably. Joining Pacific Climate Warriors helped me to understand the importance of Pacific people determining their own narrative. We danced and we sang the same songs that our ancestors did. I mean, for us, that's activism.
Like, when I think about younger generations, I feel like we have an obligation to do something and make sure that they don't have to have these same stresses as we do.
It felt really good because I felt like I was doing something for my future.
I never dreamed that we would get this far, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. If I wasn't a part of School Strike for Climate, then I don't think I'd be feeling as hopeful as I am now.
Walking with 40,000 people behind you and knowing that you had a part in making some of that happen is just phenomenal. It's so cool.
It's this incredible, incredible feeling that you are powerful. You're not alone and that a lot of other people are feeling the same way as you and that maybe if you all put your heads together, you could make some sort of a change. I everyone surrounding me in this movement makes me hopeful.
Yes, I feel hopeful that we will be able to stop climate change in time, but I'm really hopeful if people are actually doing something about it.
This building and that building and that building over there, we will be back.
The fact that 40,000 turned up in Wellington and 170,000 turned up in Aotearoa alone shows that people care, and I think as long as people care, there's still hope.